Hey, welcome back to the Psychic Soul Healer channel. My name is Laura, and I'm going to do a general message for Taurus. Know that energy is fluid, roles can be reversed. Always interpret the message as it best resonates with you. If you're new to my channel, know that I look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, see how they play out as karmic themes within your experiences. This allows you to see things from a different perception, which a lot of times is very healing. Not to mention, you're able to see how you contribute to the undesirable life experiences within your relationships and within your just life. So you're able to actually look at your behaviorisms and see how you create karma. And when you're able to see how you contribute to the undesirable life experiences, and that is if you're connected to a trauma bond or if you're stuck in a karmic cycle of feeling disempowered, maybe financially lacking, whatever the karmic theme is that you're living, you're able to change your behaviorisms to be more in alignment with what you want instead of the wound that you have. See, we all have psychological and emotional wounds, and they're created from the experiences that we go through. That's what really determines our perception of things. So, in order for us to really be aware that we have a wound, experiences, karmic experiences play out within our relationships. But everything is supposedly supposed to bring us to a place of unconditional love. The problem is that when we have a spiritual block, we continue to live the undesirable life experience, not just within one relationship, but within many relationships. And that is why we wind up believing that we can't have certain things. So doing these type of readings are very healing and therapeutic when you, like I said, have a spiritual block when it comes to that, because all blocks pretty much make us feel cut off from unconditional love because we ourselves are made up of unconditional love. However, when we go through experiences that make us feel defective, not good enough, not worthy, not lovable, or any other lower emotion, well, then that is actually what needs to be healed and integrated by seeing a different perception, by understanding again how and what you're doing to not just attract this person into your life, because you're a magnet of whom what comes into your life. So it's a suppressed wounds that make you a magnet of that, but also the behaviorisms and habits that this person triggers within inside of you to create the dynamic relationship, the dynamics of that relationship, which a lot of times wind up being very toxic because there needs to be healing. Past life karmic meet to ones that there is so much attraction, but we associate those relationships with a lot of pain. Okay, so let's see what the word of the video is going to be. Now, if you want to enter into winning free reading with me, you got to like the video, subscribe to the channel, write the underlining word of the video in your comment bar, and that's going to be this card. And that card is actually the card that determines why everyone is doing what they're doing. So it's, again, lots of times when people have shadows, they're not coming from their true sense of self. They're coming from a persona. So again, their behaviorisms are not really going to be, they're going to be in alignment with their true self instead of the persona. Okay, so self-righteousness. So again, you're connected to a person that is acting like they don't give a shit right now. You're in separation from them, and they've actually always acted like this. And so there is a very strong spiritual connection, but this person is almost like, I almost feel like when I tap into their energy, like they're a baby and they're holding on to like a piece of candy and they're like deliberately like not like letting go of it, like this feeling of like, I have to be right, I have to be strong, I have to be, it's mine, it's my way. And it's again, I guess that's why the baby, it's like my way. And they again come across as if they're really confident and that they don't give a shit. But the truth of the matter is, I feel like this person does care. I just feel as if they have a hard time being vulnerable. They took you guys have been in a separation for a while and they took it to the extreme. I feel like this person is always has this mentality of always needing to win at all costs. And that's because they've only dated people that the dynamics of that relation of every relationship is like that. And it's because they're never fair. They're never fair. So it's like this person always has to elevate themselves. They always have to make themselves like appear stronger, better, smarter, whatever it is. And there's a sense that I feel like you get a lot of attention. Whatever you do, it's like you're attractive, you get a lot of attention, and this person gets triggered by the fact that you get a lot of attention. They love it, but they also like almost feel like they want to be in competition with it or take it. So there's this underlining energy that it's like I feel like they're always trying to knock you off your pedestal. They put you on the pedestal, but then they also want to knock you off of it because it's like it triggers them. So the underlying energy is self-righteous. We're going to see why I'm picking up on that energy and what they're going to do about it and why you attracted this person, right? If in case you're not going to be with this person, you may say like the person was a complete ass. Like I don't want to be with them, but I don't want to attract anyone else like them either. Why did I? Is expectations. Like I feel like you both have had expectations and still do have expectations. And the thing is, expectations always wind up leaving us feeling disappointed. So again, there's a very strong spiritual connection. Again, those spiritual connections transcend time and space. So there is a lot of unconditional love without really having to do anything, not knowing why. There's just unconditional love. They feel it too. However, they don't show it. And there's also a sense that I feel like you both are like, well, because of this energy, you're supposed to act a certain way, and neither person is doing it. So both people are disappointed. It's almost like you're saying, you don't give me anything emotionally. You're not really here. You want me to chase you. You want me to like fan your ego, but you don't really give me anything. And it's like, and this person is like, well, you should like, fan my ego. You should want to do that for me. It's like, and the expectations are again more built on the imagination of what you perceived they would be. And I feel like this person like that you perceive would be emotionally open and caring just is not. And it creates a lot of anger because they don't never show up for you because they are not emotionally intelligent. And again, they want to be right at all costs. So I feel like any little thing that you disagree with them, they deliberately emotionally abandon. So they literally will not show up. Assumptions. And then it's like, then they'll say that you just assume that they should do it, or that you assume a lot. And you're like, no, you're the one that assumes a lot because you don't have a conversation. You deliberately don't have a conversation and then don't follow through. And then you'll say that you assumed that I was okay, or that it was going to be fine, whatever the situation was. But it was almost like you just assumed that it was fine, that you didn't ask me, that you don't include me, whatever the situation is. They always assume that they know who you are and that it's always going to be okay, that they never have to take your feelings into consideration. And I feel like that's the way this person has always operated with every single relationship. The problem is, I feel like you're at a higher vibration than most of the people that this person has dated. So it's really bringing out their intimacy issue, because there's a part of this person that really wants to be in a relationship, but it's like they keep getting in their own way, cheating. So again, there's always a sense that you feel as if this person is cheating. Now, I don't know whether they really are cheating. I just feel like because this person isn't there and doesn't want to make you feel comfortable with them, there's always a sense that they're cheating. I believe that this person always tries to, again, create that jealousy inside of you, which is making you, again, get thrown off balance. And I feel like it's because they're imbalanced, but their whole way is to make you feel hopeless. Again, their narcissistic energy is always creating anxiety and worry to make you insecure. That's what they want. And they want that because you're easier to control. They, again, and it's mainly because of the persona that you have. It's like they said, this person is attracted, this person does have feelings, but it's almost like your success, your beauty, your handsomeness, like your essence, like everything triggers this person. However, they have feelings for you, which is really scary. And I feel like what wound up happening is that this person expected you to come back and try and fix the relationship. They assumed that, you were going to be so devastated by them walking away or acting like they didn't care. But what wound up happening is you wound up not caring. You wound up not caring, mainly because, again, their selfishness. And I feel like you felt like it was always a sense of them, like, betraying you, creating illusions like they really, really cared, but really not putting any effort in and energy into the connection. So you always felt disrespected. And it was really the case of just, them giving so little that you got tired of being in a place of sadness. I mean, this person wasn't giving you anything. So the sad thing is, I feel like the person did it purposely because you know, they first of all, they misjudged you. Second of all, they're used to dealing with people that are not confident that this type of behavior works. They get what they want, and like I said, they perceived you to be someone different when they first met you. So I was like, why did they think that they could get away with this behavior? And it's really because you were just nice. They could feel that you cared. They feel that there's a spiritual connection. But in that spiritual connection, they thought that they could disrespect the connection. I've hurt you and I'm sorry. I hope you can forgive me someday. Understand I was reacting in fear. But again, this person like is feeling somewhat remorseful. I know this is more than a relationship and that there is a higher purpose to our connection. And I feel like it was for you, Taurus, I feel like for you, it was to know your self-worth. We'll know when we pull cards. I feel like for this person, it's to realize that, you know, um, connections don't come around every day. And this person destroyed the connection. They felt as if they could treat you however they wanted to treat you. And they didn't ever really took the time. And by the time that they figured out that they cared, I feel like that you're not going to be with them. I feel a sexual energy between us, yet it's beyond physical attraction. It needs to be elevated to the expression of deep, unconditional love. See, it had the potential. It had the potential because there's a lot of passion there. Because this person, like I said, it's not like they didn't like love you. They have very strong feelings for you. However, I feel like those strong feelings trigger this person because they're not comfortable with themselves. And then here you are mirroring all the things that this person wishes that they had within inside themselves. They wish that they had that essence. They wish that they were likable. They wish that they were seen in the public eye. This person holds a lot of shame. They hold a lot of shame because their relationships don't work out, mainly because of their self-righteous behavior. Narcissistic. Again, that is only their way. And like I said, it's mainly because they have a lot of shame. I'm afraid this relationship is too good to be true, and I pull away in fear. So it's again, as I said, it's like this person doesn't feel that they're good enough for you. So even though they have feelings for you, they're like they'll never get really 100% get comfortable in the relationship because it's like I said, they're always looking for a problem. Too good to be true is that. It's like I'm always looking for a problem, so I pull away because I'm always getting triggered, and I'm always getting triggered because I have a lot of wounds that I haven't healed. So there's parts of me that I don't like, and then I perceive you as better. And so I don't really want you to get that close because if I get that close, then you're going to see me for everything that I am, and I don't like those parts of me. So they perceive that you're going to see everything that they feel about themselves, which is what happens. So you trigger this person continuously, and that makes them jealous. And that would relate to a really toxic and trauma bond type of relationship. So I have to say, why would you attract a person like this into your life? What is spirit trying to teach you? Because you're only having a relationship with the universe. Everyone else is a reflection of yourself. And you might say, well, I'm not a narcissist. I don't, I'm not imbalanced. I don't, it's like this person likes me, but they're jealous of me and I trigger them. I mean, what kind of energy is that? And I understand imbalance goes to imbalance. So you may be someone that, always had a low self-esteem. And again, was triggered by a parent that always suppressed your energy, that it felt like unfair. Understand the trauma that occurred is suppressed. So you're not, a lot of times we won't even remember. However, if you look back on your relationships, you can see the karmic connection of, again, connecting to someone that was narcissistic, someone that liked to control, someone that wanted to suppress you. It's like they wanted to suppress you, but then steal your energy almost. And I know that sounds crazy. And it's because there is a lot of passion. So remember, there's a fine line between love and hate. And the problem is that like you have a lot of good traits, obviously, which is why this person's so attracted to you. But until they heal within inside themselves, it's almost like they want to own that for themselves. They want to take that from you. And it's like, it's a very scary, obsessive energy, which happens a lot of times in people that have wounds, where they're fragmented. It's like they compartmentalize. And so it's like almost like I have a hard time with the intimacy and trust and letting you get that close, but I can do it my way. And that's almost like this person. It's like, I can do it my way, which would be overly protective, overly in front of other people, but then you're not really feeling like they were really emotionally connected. So there would be sense of like, this person is showing me off. This person, it likes me for what I represent, but they haven't really taken the time to like connect to me. Sexually, they might, but again, it's the emotional immaturity that I keep feeling with this person. So again, frustration is one that you pulled, and I think again, when you were growing up, not getting your needs met emotionally was very frustrating for you. I feel as if, you were expected to grow up way before your time. There was no real support. And the closest person to you, again, which is our mother and our father when we're growing up, I feel like they didn't really have a good relationship. It always seemed like one parent was angry at the other. And I feel like it's that they just didn't know how to deal with stress, isolated, so obviously not feeling connected to anyone. We isolate also when we don't feel good. And I feel like, again, frustration, when we're in a place of frustration, it's like we're always in a place of anger. Like there's a sense of, again, not feeling as if one fits in, feeling like that one needs to isolate. So I feel like in the home that you were brought up in, there was a lot of, anger, and there was a lot of, again, expectation on you to grow up faster. And so it was exhausting for you. And it was almost like I always have to be on or do the right thing, and so what you did was you isolated yourself and you didn't go out into the world as much as you should have to go out and play and explore. And I'm not just talking about when you were young, I'm talking about all through high school. And so a lot of times if we grow up in an environment where, again, the parent's always frustrated, we don't want to put even more stress on the parent. So then we become someone that really learns to adapt to our environment to not disrupt the environment's emotional state. And so what spirit is saying is you attracted somebody that would have wanted you to like completely live the same exact way. They were narcissists, and any time you didn't act the way that they wanted you to act, they were going to emotionally punish you, not be there for you. And that again would make you feel alone. So like again, the same energy, and obviously you would feel frustrated because this person, it's about always winning. It's always about dominating and suppressing you, and like more of an ownership instead of what unconditional love is that there's two people that love each other unconditionally and are supportive to each other and show up emotionally for each other. This person, like I said, is so fragmented. They think that love is like ownership. And so you have to submit to them and act a certain way. Otherwise, there's always punishment. And again, so nurturance. So I feel like it's about you giving yourself that emotional support, because I don't feel that you got that growing up. I don't feel like, again, we have to reparent ourselves. If we grew up in an environment where if there was so much frustration going on because the stress, and if we don't feel good about ourselves, because that's really where the root of stress comes from, there's a sense of strong, not feeling strong financially, not feeling strong within our relationships, just not feeling strong. And that affects our emotional well-being. And so I feel as if parent was always frustrated and you kind of like took it on like yourself because you were sensitive, because they weren't able to give you the emotional support. They weren't able to nurture you because they were caught up in their own trauma. So the way that you dealt with it was to like isolate. And I think during isolation, you would get a lot of intuition, and like you would learn to heal yourself and figure things out yourself. And so there's a sense of being connected to this person, again, being alone, not emotionally getting what you need. So that's, again, in order to heal that, you have to nurture yourself. Because I don't really think that isolation is a bad thing where where you're going kind of into hibernation in order to like get your intuition. The issue is almost like by being frustrated and then going into isolation, this person is dominating you emotionally. And they're doing it in an underhanding way by trying to, that by not making you feel comfortable in who you are, almost like you have to dim your light in order to make this person happy. And also, like you said, their idea of what love is, their idea of love is attachment. So we have to ask ourselves, what are we supposed to do with this energy aside from we understand that we attracted this person, right? Taurus, like you have to say, why did I attract this person? And say, well, it's easy because I didn't get the nurturance that I needed. I didn't feel safe, and I wasn't allowed to be me. So then Spirit says, well, in order to reparent that, you have to give yourself the nurturance. And that means I feel like emotionally, you would get that nurturance through like joining things, being interactive in life, doing things that make you happy, bringing you joy, not running out and being in a relationship right now. Because this person played a lot of head games. And even though I feel like you didn't fall for any of those head games, it still was a sense of, not really being secure within yourself. So it's all about getting secure within yourself. Elevation. I free myself from fear and trust the universe. I direct my thoughts to the beauty inside and around me. I use my spiritual strengths, knowledge to create light, and I rise above all doubt. So again, I believe that this connection, the reason why this situation was brought into your life was to help you evolve. And it's because, like I said, that there's part of you that relives that childhood trauma of not getting nurtured, of not feeling supported, of that feeling like when you went through traumatic experiences or experiences that you needed that support, you had to do it yourself, where you went into isolation and not having someone in your life and not knowing how to really navigate your life created a lot of frustration. And you also saw that parent, that again, caregiver was always frustrated. And then we can tend to absorb those emotions and not realize that the way that we begin to react is the same way that our parent reacted, and um almost as if you were reliving like a parent's scenario of like you're frustrated because you feel like you don't have any support. But meanwhile, your parent was frustrated because they feel like they didn't have any support. And they might not have felt like they had any support because their partner was emotionally not available and never showed up. And this person, again, is emotionally not available and doesn't show up. So you actually see that what that caregiver or parent had to go through. So that was actually very healing for you because now you're seeing that the parent wasn't frustrated with you, they were frustrated with their own life. So it was almost like spirit had to bring you back into that particular scenario in order for you to heal that particular wound with the parent. And that actually helps you heal the root chakra, helps you clear anger and resentment, which if you would have been with this person, then you would have been stuck in a place of anger and resentment forever because this person was dedicated to not really doing the right thing. Because again, their right thing can never be right. They need to heal. So again, some connections we're not supposed to be in. Some connections just come into our life to teach us, to teach us what we need to heal within ourselves. And I just feel like you had blocks within your inner child, and it was mainly due to a very turbulent upbringing due to a parent that was just always stressed out. So it made you stressed out. And so when we're always feeling stressed out because of a parent, we begin to take that on like it's our fault. And so we unconsciously learn not to ask for things that we need. We are conditioned to like unconsciously to accommodate the environment. And in that, we tend to lose ourselves. That's what this person was trying to do. They were trying to knock you off your game so that they would have that power. Now, you might have had to live that way in childhood as a survival mechanism where you perceived that you did, when really it was a psychological, you know, way to alleviate some of the stress from your parent. And you did that because you loved your parent unconditionally. However, this person has not earned that, and you don't want to relive the same experience from that. This person just thought that they could manipulate it back into that. And I feel like they could sense the again, the way that you grew up and perceived that you weren't as strong or confident. And so that's why they handled it the way that they handled it. Now I'm going to leave that there, Taurus. You'll let me know whether you resonate with this, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.